When I first started playing Tarkov, I was scared. My heartbeat reached dangerous levels, and the thought of playing solo and using the gear that had been sitting in my stash for days made me tremor. In this video, we are leaving all those feelings behind. I want you to be the best version of yourself possible, to the point that you would rather play solo because your friends just can't keep up. Today, let's dive into the reason why you have gear fear and talk about ways to remove it entirely. Let's start this off with a question. Why do you think you have gear fear? I'm not saying to give me an easy excuse, like I don't want to die or I don't have the money to throw away. These aren't reasons you are scared to push a fight. Dig a little deeper and really think about the question. That will give a good perspective on yourself and where to start. Shakiness and anxiety. I've recently started playing Tarkov after quite a long hiatus. How was my first raid? I cleared a ground zero lobby with only a pistol. Even though I was excited, I noticed one thing that hadn't hit me in a while since playing last. My adrenaline was through the roof. How many times have you been in a situation where you've gotten a couple shots off on an enemy, but you're sitting in the same place that you shot them from? This is your flight or fight response. Take note of when it's happening and reference the words I'm about to say. I'm scared of what I don't know. I will take control of what I do. The anxiety you feel in these situations is the uncertainty of the future. You may not know where the enemy has gone or what he is doing. Instead of thinking about that, think about yourself. Are my mags full? Can I get to a better position? Could I get off any heals safely? Doing these things can give you time to breathe, as well as take advantage of the time you would be sitting still regardless. With the problems of shakiness, shake your hands out while you're packing a mag or stitching a limb back on. Find something that calms you in the moments of anxiety and use it to slow your heartbeat. You've died in so many raids before, who cares if it happens again? That quest item, you can get it back. That flash drive will spawn again. Given maybe it would take a couple hundred raids, but it will spawn again. Stop getting caught up in the moment and letting your primal responses block your frontal cortex from making the right decision. What if your enemy is weak? Do you still go pack a mag or heal? That leads me to my next tip, aggression or ratting. As I've explained in the last video, aggressive plays are key to winning gunfights. Being scared of losing that juicy SA58 can lead you to not taking the opportunity to be aggressive. Sometimes aggression isn't the play. Never let someone tell you that ratting isn't a viable way to play. I believe all play styles have their own role in Tarkov, and choosing the strategic play can sometimes lead you to holding the angle or waiting for that peak. With time and these guides, you'll understand which path to choose when the situation arises. Since the slower playstyle of Tarkov is the most common, I'll start there to help you be more confident in playing towards more of the aggressive spectrum. Not knowing the angles you can be shot from can lead to you guys going from cover to cover without the knowledge of an enemy even looking at you. A good way to stop being scared of the big scary shade is knowing spawns. Take customs. If you spawn big red side parking lot, you should know that there are only two places that you should be worried about. This extract and hillside. They are your immediate concerns. You check extract and you don't see a player running up, you can assume he's slow so he won't be pushing you fast, or that he has spawned in U-Haul. From that, you should know the amount of time that you have free to freely move around that portion of the map. Understanding timings is crucial to cracking the rhythm of different maps. With this, you can realize when an aggressive play is needed and be confident that you won't be shot from somewhere else while doing so. If you want to solely practice being aggressive, create an MPX preset and run factory. At this stage of the wipe, you'll mainly fight pistolings and Mosin warriors. Push everything, count your kills, and most importantly, record your deaths. Don't forget to stay positive as well. Like, I can't help that. Do at most 10 raids, live or die, then go to where you recorded your deaths. I suggest using Metal or G-Force Shadowplay. Write down 3 reasons that could have led to your death and write them down. Now write solutions to each. Keep all this in a Google document. If you're too lazy to make one, I've created a free resource for you guys in the description below. Now you have no excuses. This is my first try at making something educational through Google Docs, so please excuse how shit it looks, but I'm trying my best. Repeat this constantly, applying the notes that you have made to the next set of 10 raids until you are confident that you understand your issues. From there, work on them separately. This is very important. Play with intention. By this point, our brains would have started zoning out because it's presented with a challenge. If you truly want to succeed in raid, your willpower needs to be stronger. Accept the challenge and report back. Think of it like a task from the therapist. The next 4 tips are going to be quicker. I'm going to fire them off quickly to retain your attention so you can leave with some basic info to work on if you have the same attention span as me. But if you do stick around until the end, the last one will really set you apart. The best way to make money. There is a million money making guides on YouTube. I'm sure that you are all aware of them. Pick one, learn it in offline mode, and then go run it at night. The single best way to make money is to not die. That's it. Don't die and you won't spend money. Until you're at that level, nighttime stash run on woods seems to be the easiest option. There's so many ways out there, but find a reliable way to do so. Put on some Netflix, grab a scav bag and run stashes. I've linked my favorite stash guide below. Player and AI behaviors. Like I mentioned before, learning the pathing and pace of other players can directly lead you to winning more fights and being more confident to not lose your gear. But to add on to this, knowing the pathing and the way scavs respond to you is also extremely useful. How many times have you died to a scav? Honestly, you shouldn't. Sometimes they get a lucky shot to the thorax or armpit in this way, but learning the nuances of scavs is also important. You should know how long you can aim at a scav before it turns to you, shoots you, and how long the de-aggro time is. Knowing this well can help make you more comfortable with clearing areas without stressing about the dreaded AI. Most scavs have a long window of you being able to look them dead in the eyes without them even firing a shot. Use this to take the time to line up an easy shot without raising that adrenaline. Low hours. If you don't have 10,000 hours in Tarkov like everyone seems to do, then you have some catching up to do. What's the quickest way to do this? Arena. It's janky, broken, and sometimes extremely aggravating, which means it's the perfect way to dull your perception of dying. Struggle with aiming in Tarkov? Play Arena and or Kovacs. Struggling to understand your binds? Play Arena. Severely hate your life and watching a video on how to remove gear fear? Play Arena. I don't want to make the correlation here, but I used to play competitive Fortnite. It needs to be said. Look at the average player's skill before creative was added. Then compare that to the skill of the average player after it was added. Very stark difference. Arena is extremely useful to catch you up to the speed of gunfight mechanics and play styles in the shortest amount of time. I don't see many people taking advantage of this to its full potential, and in the future, I can see some extremely talented players coming from the use of Arena as a training tool. All the game sense involved in Tarkov can be learned through videos. The actual mechanics of playing the game can't. Honestly, I'm excited to see where Arena can take the average player's skill. As a new channel, it can be hard getting reach, but you guys have blown my expectations out the water. So cheers for the support. Twitch, Twitter, TikTok, and the free resources are in the description below, as well as that sub button. But other than that, have a cracking day.